We sat down with Caleb, who's been a patient since he was 13 months old. He's now 18. We sat down with him and his mom, Kelly, to hear their story, which is just a really special part for us as well. And then we just love getting to share these stories with you guys, and this is why this was so important for us to make this the first episode of season 2.
It's easy to understand once you're there and you have conversations with people like Caleb and his mother, Kelly. So what you're going to hear next is Kelly shared a little bit of their story in a press conference that first day we were there. And so we're going to hear that, and then you're going to hear our conversation with Kelly and Caleb after that.
My husband and I walked through the doors of St. Jude when Caleb was just 13 months old, and we had just been told that our only son had mucopolysaccharidosis type 1 Hurler syndrome, and that he was going to die. And there was no cure for this, and everything that we read said that he was going to become blind, he was going to become deaf, he was mentally going to decline, and that his organs would start shutting down, and that between the age of 5 and 10 he would die. And the geneticist told us, wait just a minute, there's a doctor at St. Jude that's doing transplants, and it's not a cure, but we're going to stop the progression in his brain, and we're going to slow the progression down in his body, and we're going to give you time. We're going to give you time to find that cure. So we walked through those doors completely devastated with the weight of the world on our shoulders, and that first day, it felt like it was being lifted. This has really been a year of reflection for our family because that kid just turned 18. Oh, it's really killed me. But over the last couple of months, when I've just been thinking about all the things that St. Jude has really come to mean to us, and truly the word you hear constantly is hope. And that has been such a resounding word in our lives because we came in here with nothing, and we came out with that lifted off and with the hope that we would have a future. And it hasn't been easy. He hasn't had just, I had my transplant, I'm good. He's had carpal tunnel surgery on both of his hands. He's had anterior posterior spinal fusion on his back. He's had both of his hips reconstructed and a corneal transplant in one eye. And his heart's starting to go bad. But you know what? St. Jude has been behind us every single step of the way. We have specialists that are top of the line that I know that I can come here and he's going to be taken care of. And in 17 years, I've never received a single bill. So that's just amazing.
What do you want to tell?
I want to thank St. Jude for inviting me to all the events that they invite me to, because it makes memories with my family and my St. Jude family.
So listening to your story, you've been a part of these seminars for so long. I bet watching an award show, what's it like for you? Because you've met so many of the people that we see on TV.
Well, it feels like I'm at an award show.
You are. He's had years when, like I said, the very first time when he was telling them to line up, and if you're famous, you line up in front of me. I'm sure he has humbled quite a few people. One year he brought his own pictures so he could give autographs out to them.
As one does.
Yes. So, he's a very confident
Non-humble child.
It's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way. I think it's an old country
there you
song.
go. Well, when you're all this cuteness, right? Right.
One of the things I think that was so impactful for us, we were just talking about into listening to you share your story, is that you were saying, when you come in here, as a parent, as a child, it's like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. Can you talk just a little bit about that? And I think just the hope that you guys have found at St. Jude.
And definitely, when we came here, Caleb was the only child, and we had tried for 3 years to have a child. And then at 13 months, for us to be given this genetic disease that we had never heard of, and we were told, he's going to die. He's going to die between the age of 5 and 10. Most of these websites were saying we were told to take our kid home and just love him. And to have that and to come in and all is this disease has no cure. And, it's going to take away every little bit that he's gained. I mean, whether it was talking and everything else, that he was going to lose his sight, he was going to lose his hearing, he was going to not be able to speak, and that he was going to have this devastating death that was just going to slowly take everything away from him. And then we walked through the doors, and I immediately had the lady from behind the counter come out and give us a hug. And I was like, it must be the shell shock expression where she figures out that you're like brand new here. But yeah, Miss Penny came from behind the table and hugged us and said, welcome to your new home, and you're in the best place in the world. And it truly was. It just lifted up, and you saw that little bit of shining light. And just the more you go through, the more that just takes over. And that hope takes the place of that desperation.
Well, one of the most amazing things about St. Jude is that it's research, so that everything that Caleb has been through is now helping people who are in your position. So how have you seen that firsthand? Have you seen other children with what Caleb had come through?
He has, there's only been 4.
Wow, so it's very rare.
Here. So he's had 1 come behind him. But I do think it's amazing that we were talking about that earlier, that the doctors that are here that work with Caleb, then we see them go behind and do the exact same things with the other patient here. And it's amazing and everything. I'm like, he's helping them. And we can see the growth in that. And we do know that over in those research towers, every single day, there's research on all sorts of diseases, and who's to say one's not going to unlock what they need for the storage disease that he has. So
I mean, that's got to feel awesome, though, to know that, that what you're going through is also helping the people coming behind you as well.
Well, I think God's using your life in like mighty, mighty ways.
Yep, he is.
Yes, he is.
God walks the halls of this hospital. I mean,
He walks
we have
everywhere.
Yes, but
Preach.
But I think I truly feel we were led here. I mean, if we were anywhere else, I don't know that he would be here. And to know that we were able to be here and still have our support of our home and our family and our church and everything, but they didn't have a protocol for him. He's that rare, and we came here and we got the best care in the world. I was like, how else could that? I mean, the best care in the world was in our backyard, and we didn't even know it.
Yeah. And then to never receive a bill.
Never. And that's what I don't think a lot of times they realize the scope of that. But I mean, yeah, my insurance will pay this much, but they had told us originally, they said, our insurance company said, oh, well, there's a hospital in Minnesota, or there's a hospital in North Carolina that deals with his disease. If you go there, and was like, but if we go there, we lose our home. Right. If we go there, we lose everything. And I was like, I'll do it in a heartbeat but then to find out that we could come here and we didn't have to worry about losing our home. We didn't have to worry about how we were going to feed him and get his care and everything, because St. Jude took care of every single bit of that. Even to giving us meal cards every single day. When we were walking through getting our appointments, we would go to the K Cafe and get their food. It is.
So much going on.
Caleb,
but I think
any favorite memory as we're wrapping up? Any favorite memory that you've had with all these celebrities you've met in your award show?
Well, my favorite memory is having to go throughout life and figuring out what my task is to be able to complete it.
Your favorite memory is so you can become a star, right?
No, make people happy.
Make people happy.
And keep celebrities humble.
Yeah.
And what a blessing that is.
Yes.
Dude, you have such a bright light shining from you. It's so awesome.